Like if y'all too soft, if y'all trying to sound sexy. You fine, you know you sexy, but talk up and just pull your thing down for me. Your black thing. Yeah.
Better.
I be like talk up. Okay. So I gotta let it run for like a few seconds. So when the editing come, I can just eat it.
I know that's
All right, let me see. Okay. What y'all say when Queen Elizabeth died? I'm gonna keep that part.
I think that says it all.
I'm gonna keep that part.
My line sister is a black Brit. She's from the UK, and I actually had to text her, and I said, "Now I need for you to tell me how I'm supposed to feel. Is this like Trump dying, or is this like Barack dying?" And I was serious, and she was like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, if you sad, I'm sad. If you not, hey, yeah, she's going on to glory. So
that was a good.
I was serious.
Because
They're like figureheads. They're not really politicians. But I'm like, how did they treat black people over there? Like, just all I see is just Meghan Markle, right? So and all that stuff. So I'm like, I need to know. If you sad, I'll be sad with you. But if you good, I'm good. Yeah.
And see, my perspective has been this. You know, we are empathetic when someone passes away. But as far as, you know, the regime and the atrocities and
because Black Twitter been acting a whole fool.
Yeah.
And I've been clowning. I've been laughing my ass off. I've been hollering.
Quite entertaining.
Yeah. But I watched the Princess Diana story on Netflix when COVID first started. And it's a series about everything that she went through from the time she was became princess of Wales or whatever, and then up until she died when they divorced. And they was mean as hell to her. And one of the main reasons why they were mean to her or that caused like a lot of foolishness is because she would like interact with black kids and would touch them and hold them and people with AIDS. Like they felt like she was doing too much. And I was like, the hell?
Yeah.
And then the history of it, like it's like they've always treated black people like boo-boo, like that entire monarch, like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
I read her biography that was written by her confidant, and it
Princess
had,
Diana.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it had like all the things that she went through. You know, just the way they treated her.
Yeah.
Her dealing with her husband's affair. Just all of that.
I mean, just the way that she died.
yeah.
Very tragic.
Yeah.
You know, like
Her driver was drunk as hell.
Yes.
Then they had all of those paparazzi like purposely sent them to attack them and follow them and scare them and
Yeah. They didn't value her.
At
They
all.
didn't care about her.
At all.
Princess Diana was a thug though.
Was she?
Oh my God. Oh, she held nothing back. She didn't give a damn about the queen.
That's
like,
another reason.
That's why Harry is the way he is. Harry has always been the problem child.
Yeah.
Like when he got 18, he was a whole fool wearing Nazi stuff and he clowned for a long time.
Didn't he give them all kind of hell about him being in the military?
Yes.
Like he didn't really want to do it.
He didn't want to do it, so he did. When he did it like grudgingly, like they were drinking, like publicly, drinking party, like literally.
Of color.
With black people, and they hated that.
Yes.
Ooh, they hated that.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a whole fool, and that's why I feel like he gave them the blues. You know what I'm saying? Because he probably realized when he gotten older the way they treated his mama. You know what I'm saying? But I really feel like it took Meghan to say, this ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And then I done had these princesses and this prince, and you gonna tell me my baby not gonna be in a royal lineup because they black?
Right.
And then and talk about the baby's skin was dark. Them babies light as hell.
And they
look white.
are.
Well, asking how dark would the skin be?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honey, I couldn't. I was trying to feel sorry for the queen and them and stuff. So I was like, okay. And David Muir, my husband, will tell you I love him to death. Like I watch David Muir daily. I have not been watching him because if all you gonna talk about is Queen Elizabeth, like I'll wait for a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
Because okay, y'all, we better get this water started. I'm excited. Okay. So I'm just gonna come in and I'll be like, there's some bosses in the building. But I ain't gonna say it. I like when Nicki Minaj be like, in the building. Like on her voice get real deep. I ain't gonna do that.
For that New York accent.
Right.
Yes.
All right, Spillers, I have some bosses in the building. Didn't I say I wasn't going to do that? I am. I'm super excited about the ladies that are in the Spill podcast room. Two beautiful, hardworking, successful, making moves for the city, baby. My city, your city, they city. Internationally, these are some amazing women. I have the honor and privilege to call them my sorors. They, I'm not even gonna say nothing because their rap sheets, not criminally, even though they look at criminal rap sheets, but theirs are not criminal. But their resumes are beautiful and are super amazing, and I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves shortly. But first, hey Ken and Angie, welcome to the Spill podcast. Can y'all talk in the microphone? Please don't be shy. Thank you. And gentlemen, because I have gentlemen too. Well, thank you all for coming. I'm super excited that you all are here. Before we get started, Spillers, you all know what time it is. It is our Spill Mental Check-In. I am an advocate for mental health. Y'all know I've been going through this for about 4 or 5 years now. So whenever a spiller comes into the podcast, it's my responsibility to ask you how you are doing spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all of these, you know? Yep. So spillers, whatever you're doing, go ahead and stop what you're doing, pause for the cause, take a deep breath, and really tune into your mental. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Are you okay? Do you feel like that there is something wrong, something is missing? You're not sure how to connect with whatever you're feeling? If so, say something so that we can do something. That is very, very important. Mental health is wealth. I truly feel that. I believe it with my entire heart. So much going on with us mentally, with our peers, our friends, family members. And oftentimes lately, it's the last minute that we realize that people are going through whatever they're going through. But we don't want that to be you spillers. We don't want that to be us. So if you're going through something, say something so that we can do something. So we'll start with you, Angie. How are you feeling? And I want y'all to be 100 because y'all are booked and busy. Y'all got a lot going on in your lives. And it's amazing, it's positive, it's beautiful, but sometimes those beautiful and positive, busy feelings and doings can really have a hold or a weight on your mental. So let's start with you, Angie. And you super busy. You go from Little Rock to Dallas.
Right.
And then you be on a plane to New York. And then you be on the beach.
Florida.
And then you be on I'm just saying. busy. How are you though mentally?
Mentally, I'm okay. And you nailed it. I am super busy with work. We have so many trials set this year just because, with the pandemic, everything was kind of paused. So we're playing catch up right now.
Oh,
so
wow.
I have trials just pretty much booked throughout the rest of the year. So you know how that is when you're busy and then I'm taking care of a sick loved one. So that is additional pressure. But I'm in a good place despite that because from the spiritual aspect, I've had an opportunity to get closer to God. I was recently baptized again. And so I've been leaning on the Lord for my spiritual support.
Right.
Great leaning post.
Definitely. Because, the strength that comes from that. But doing pretty good, I say, keeping that balance. Because that's the key thing, whatever you have going on, having balance and having outlets, people that you can reach out to, talk to, as you pointed out. Because if you bottle things up and keep them inside, then you are probably going to implode at some point.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear. So what are some jewels? What are some things that you do to make sure that balance is balanced? Like, what is it? Exercise? Is it just meditation, prayer? Like, what are some things that you do to make sure that you stay balanced? Because catching up with from the pandemic and all that, I cannot imagine. Just being an educator and us coming back and kids kind of being behind and, you know what I'm saying, having to kind of close a lot of gaps. I can just imagine what is going on in the legal world. So
Yes. Meditation and prayer for sure. Self-care is one thing that I cannot stress enough as far as being important. You know, just the smallest window of grabbing a manicure, pedicure, keeping my hair done, trying to grab a massage here and there. And when I have time traveling, getting a
when
change
you
of
have
scenery.
time.
Right. She makes time. She creates time for that. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you.
I will make time.
She'll make time for that.
Okay, well, that's certainly good to hear. So, Spillers, you heard what she said. She does meditation. Self-care is important. That's something that we all should be doing anyway, whether it's through physical exercise, manicures, pedicures, massages. Take care of yourselves. Now, Can.
Yes, ma'am.
What you do, sis? How you doing? How is your mental? How are you emotionally and spiritually? I know spiritually you on a high because baby boy just went on to the Lord in prayer. Hallelujah. So how are you balancing everything that you have going on?
You know, I was like, so I'm good.
In the microphone, sis.
I am in a very good place in my life in general, but it is taking some time to get there.
Okay.
Like, this has been a very challenging and new experience for me career-wise.
Okay.
But I feel like, and I'll share some more, I guess, a little bit later, but I feel like I've had to really sit down and be still. And so that I could just hear God clearly about what he wanted me to do, you know, next, right? And so I typically start my day with a daily devotional.
Yeah. Okay, you good.
Y'all know she a teacher, right?
No, I'm just saying.
I got you.
I got you. You got a beautiful voice, sis. I want the people to hear it.
I got you. But so I start my morning off with a devotional, and I write, I journal, and I have like a little quote or a scripture in the morning. I'm still trying to do like better at like memorizing scripture. You know what I mean?
That's a struggle.
So me and Ange we're in like a Bible group together, a Bible study group, and like one of the things, we haven't done it in a while, but one of the things that we challenged ourselves to do was to memorize the scripture like by the end of our study, and I was like 4 weeks or 6 weeks or something.
Okay, so the study is for 6 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, so one scripture. Okay, look, I thought you were talking about the morning, like the study during the. I'm like, nah. Okay, keep.
But anyway, I write it down because that helps me remember.
Okay.
Right, instead of just like reciting it or thinking about it and stuff like that. But that has set the tone for me, and you know, I feel like we have a responsibility to wake up happy.
Yes,
like
every day.
Like every day, like thankful. Like regardless of what happened the day before, regardless of what you may be facing that day. Like if you wake up, you have responsibility to be happy about that. And if you start the day off like that, for me, that has been very helpful.
And that's so crazy that you said that, because episode 1, I said that. I said every morning you wake up like you're living, you're breathing. Right. So first of all, wake up happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is important. And when you said that you do the devotion, that's a way that I help myself spiritually, and that's one of my self-cares. I actually, before I get on social media, before I get in my car, like soon as I literally wake up just a little earlier so that I can make sure that I do my devotion every morning. And it's also with the scripture. I do the Bible app of the day, verse of the day. There's an entire devotion with it. Like it's a person that says something, give you encouraging words, and then there's a little scribe that gives you examples of what this verse means and how you can apply it to your daily life. And then there's a prayer at the end, and it's super duper dope. And then I do Sisters of the King devotion, which is like super good. But I make it a point to do those every day. Now, memorizing scripture, sis.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
I feel like something happens as you get older. Like,
yes.
It's hard.
When I was growing up in Bible school, we literally would get rewards for memorizing scriptures. Yeah. But now I'm like, as I really try to live the scriptures, I cannot remember
Right.
those scriptures. I
Yeah.
literally have to pull my devotion up. Okay, yeah.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, so I get it. The struggle is real. So kudos to y'all for trying to memorize.
Yeah.
On my mantle, my friend Michi gave me a card of 30-day personalized devotionals, and I'll show y'all. And it's scriptures, but with my name in it.
Yeah,
So,
so
it's
I
like,
did that for Kyrie when she was born. I got some of those, the scriptures made, and we stuck them on her wall with her name inserted in it, so you can internalize it. You know what I mean?
And you can know he's talking directly to you.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't remember.
Good.
I try to do. I pull them. I change them every week, like every Sunday. I flip to the new one, and every morning I look at them dang on things, y'all. I forgot what it is yesterday. I was like, okay, Josh said every morning.
Yeah.
But I told the Lord, I was like, listen, I don't know if it's a memory thing.
Right.
I don't know what it is,
Right.
but please charge it to something, but not my heart, because
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Well, one thing I decided to do was to only use one version of the Bible instead of like going back and forth. That does not help.
Being balanced.
I mean, but even just like at one point, like I was using an Easy Read version, and then you're watching church and they're using the, you know what I mean, another version. I'm like, I'm not gonna remember none of this, you know. But you just, Lord, you know my heart.
Right. And the Easy Read version was made just for us.
Yeah.
Because the preachers are never going to read that. You use that. They've been to seminary school, and y'all, they've done all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know those terms. So I need easy. And then the Easy Read version of confusion too, because you be like, now wait, that didn't say that.
Right.
Let's go to King James.
Let's go ahead and do this compare. Compare versions. But okay.
That is pretty funny. Okay, well, spillers, the girls are good. So we pray and we hope that you're good. If you're not good, say something so that we can do something. Remember I said health is wealth. In order for you to be completely wealthy, you have to be healthy. And it starts with your mental. Okay? Did y'all want to add something to that?
I think you summed that up.
I do too.
100%.
I guess the only thing I'll add is that it's not self-care, and the idea of self-care is not just beneficial for women. Men have to tap into those, things too. Because, we're supposed to be support systems for each other.
Yes.
And while I'm out here trying to heal and get myself stronger and, work through my issues and stuff, like, men have to do the same thing, and whenever we have conversations about, like, work-life balance or work-life integration or whatever, the questions are always directed to the woman.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But men have to be able to try to find some sort of balance too, and they have to be able to feel comfortable enough to say, I'm hurting or I'm struggling or I need help or things like that.
Yeah.
And so, when you see a man out getting his pedicure, manicure, like,
dap
him up. Yeah. Like, don't, you know what I mean?
Real.
Like, because he's trying to take care of himself too.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the truth. I was talking to my husband about that. So around September, every year around September to probably December, sometimes November, he does extreme overtime with his job, Monday through Thursday. So he'll leave the house at like 6:30 and won't get home to 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, purposely, because we have Christmas coming up, and then we know we have traveling or whatever we're doing for the next year, and we're trying to get some stuff paid off by February, March. But he does it, and he does it without complaining, you know what I'm saying? And he'll come home and I can just tell he's beat, and I kind of like, I try to do stuff like, babe, I'll bring you some hot water, or, cause he's like, he's a 70s baby, so he grew up in the 90s baby. He's a man, he did the Banging in Little Rock, he was all that, he was there, you know what I'm saying? So he has this like man shield on for real, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in the streets, this is what I gotta do to get my money, I'm just gonna do it. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that and I respect that, but at some point you have to make sure you're good. You know what I'm saying? You working to provide and to do everything for your family. What are you doing for you?
Yep.
And I tell him, like, he just left. I was like, go over your brother's house, like, go do something, do you. You know what I'm saying? Just so that you can be good mentally, because I don't want it to just hit at one moment and you snap or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's certainly true. And Antoine talked about that when he was on season 1. He said the importance of men taking time out for themselves, be it therapy, be it you doing whatever is necessary to take care of you.
Yep.
He said it's important. And when you said that the world just often look at the woman,
Right.
like to make sure that the woman is okay, but what about the men? Because sometimes men are backbones too.
It's
Right.
much needed, actually, and I'm so glad that you brought that up and that you encourage your husband, because men feel the pressure to be the stronger. So many times they just deal with whatever's going on,
Right.
and they don't even seek help or try to have balance because they feel like I have to shoulder this.
Right.
And that can be very stressful and can
Right.
have negative consequences. You have to get these things out. You have to take care of yourself, and you have to have balance.
Yep.
And especially when you are a backbone.
The
You
backbone.
need an outlet
Yeah.
too.
Right. And I need him to have balance because, baby, I be tired. we both can't, somebody got to be the strong because I'm
Right.
going to be weak. And I'm probably going to be weak on purpose a lot of times.
Right.
But, let's neither here nor there. Thank you for bringing that up, Ken. That was
Yeah,
good. I love it.
uh-huh.
That's what's up. Okay, we are moving on to one of my favorite segments of the episode, and that is Spill Trend Time. One day I'm
Are
going
you
to
gonna sing for us?
Absolutely not. One day I'm going to give a Candy would be the one.
That's
Goodness. One day I'm going to have a little insert that's going to say Spill Trend Time. It's not going to be me singing those sis, so you can go ahead and get that.
I've got some
around.
voices for you.
Listen, okay, thank you.
I'm
Look how
a
Kenny
full
looking at me.
range.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so Spillers, you all know that this is one of my favorite parts of the episode where we talk about everything black, baby. Black platinum, black gold, black diamond, and black. Thank God I'm black.
Thank
Hey,
you.
I'm gonna take it back. Hey, I'm from black. Hey, see, I got you just a I'm hoarse from last night and for having to sing for Keisha. Keisha keeps us in octaves that ain't even imaginable. Where y'all get her from? But anyway,
You found them.
but look, we're gonna talk about everything black, blackety black. So the first trend is really suitable because I have some litigators, some attorneys, some all them type of people. We still gonna talk about who y'all are, so don't think I forgot because I'm gonna try to give you that information in a minute. But anyway, I wanted to talk about our forever and ever POTUS and FLOTUS, President Barack and Michelle Obama. So a couple of weeks ago, they were welcomed back to the White House to do the unveiling of their portraits. And you all know, according to traditions, once a new president enters, the new administration invites the past president and past administration back for an unveiling of their portraits in a big, formal, nice ceremony, right? 45. 45, y'all. He didn't want to do. He said he didn't want to look at the Obamas when he saw when he waved them off on their where y'all get him from? But when he waved them back on their final flight from the White House, he was done. That was it for him. Like, let the good Lord hit you with a little out, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, that's what 45 felt like. But anyway, of course, President Joseph Robinette Biden, gotta love him, he invited them back and he did an amazing formal ceremonial event for the unveiling of their portraits that are to be in the White House forever and ever and ever. So that means when our children become presidents and when their friends and stuff become presidents, they won't be the only black people on the wall. It'll be some way before them, right? But President Biden did this, which was super dope for me, but I could not help but feel some type of way because first of all, if this is a tradition, like how you gonna come in and break the tradition? Second of all, how you gonna do that to the Obamas? Third of all, did you not think that this would happen?
Right.
So how do you all feel about 45 basically getting away with breaking a tradition? Like, that's important. You supposed to let the people come. They ain't gonna be looking crazy because President Biden not going to invite him back with his ceremony for him and Ivanka. So how do you all feel that 45 did not, he broke that tradition purposely? And do you think that he should be held accountable for it? Or do you think that Michelle was right when she said when they go high, when they go low, we gonna have, when they go low, I go
Lower.
look into hell. I'm not going hell
Lower.
lower. But of course, Flotus, she said when they go low, we go high. So how do you all feel about that?
I feel that her position is probably the best one to take in that situation
Mhm, I
because
agree.
ultimately you're going to have someone come along and right the wrong as we see here.
Mm-hmm.
The issue with 45, there was so much that he did that was untraditional.
Right. Right.
He was not a traditional president.
Right.
He did not follow traditions. In fact, he was even doing things that presidents aren't supposed to do.
Right.
So we couldn't expect him to honor traditions he barely knew what the job was. And to be frank, he was spending the majority of his presidency trying to undo the legacy
Right.
of President Obama, where there was progress. He was trying to go back and change laws and undo those things. So it was to be expected. That was typical of that presidency.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think I wasn't surprised. I would have thought if he would have allowed the unveiling to happen at the traditional point in time, I would have been like, something is about to happen. I would have been very concerned. So I'm glad that it didn't, just because, like Ann said, he was not a traditional president, and so this didn't surprise me whatsoever. But the Obamas are so gracious. They seem so gracious, and they just take it, and they've taken it in stride.
Gosh.
And so their response and how they handled it was, like top tier.
God.
Top tier.
But would you all be able to accept the way that they were treated if you were in those positions? Look at Kim's face. How would you
just to be really real, a lot of people have asked me, how come you hadn't ran for judge yet?
And I was one of those people, y'all.
That's a no. That's a no. This now.
I could see that as a natural fit for you.
No, it's not a natural fit.
She'll be like the female version of Judge Mathis.
I could not. I have my gracious moments, but I feel like my transparency at times trumps the feeling of wanting to be gracious. So, yeah, God has put me in a very good lane. I'm going to continue to stay, in that lane. And the political life is not, for the faint of heart. So they did it exceedingly well. And again, God aligned that for them.
Right.
That was the type of personality, they had and stuff like that. So yeah.
He definitely knew who could handle it and who couldn't.
And
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I think it's probably Mackenzie. I just stopped it. Did y'all hear my doorbell?
I heard it.
If y'all got a tingle or something. She has her garage opener, but we don't do the key because we keep the stopper in the front door.
Oh, okay.
But she probably left it.
You get a little fan time, girl.
I need to check in for my flight. Where is the ship?
Oh, where are you going?
So I my first day is tomorrow. I'm in the Little Rock office until hopefully 2. And my flight leaves at 4:30 to go to the Indiana office. And I'm gonna be in the Indiana office for the rest of the week.
Training.
Yeah. I think this week, I think tomorrow in Little Rock office is new employee orientation, and then this week is training. Hey, how you doing, pretty girl?
Nice to meet you.
You was asleep in the movies, huh?
It wasn't good.
What y'all go see, Woman King? Why was you? Oh, she tired because she went to a quinceañera last night and partied.
Oh, that's why.
With them. They party.
That's
your
best
people.
Party, yeah.
Your people.
Okay, cool. We about to record.
Hey, Kyrie. So my phone is on D&D. So at about 5 o'clock, if Dad has not called me, he's probably gonna call you.
Okay.
And you can just tell him to take DJ home. I'll pick him up from his house.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Thank
thought she was getting
you.
up. All right. Spillers on YouTube. I'm gonna edit that part out because it was random. I forgot she didn't take her garage opener. Anyway, okay. No, she's getting honey.
Okay,
So I'm getting a new car next year.
She's driving though.
Yeah, I gotta get stuck.
It's like just when you get to the point of not having.
You know what I'm saying? When you pay some
I
money.
never not had a car. No.
My mom.
My truck that I have now, it'll be paid off in February, and I'm like trying to not get another one.
But
I
probably gonna get another one.
I just want to see.
You probably gonna get another one.
I've never every car that I've gotten, it is because something was wrong with the other one. Like I've never gotten a car
just because.
Yeah, like
that's been me.
Yeah,
like every car I've had, I've always had them paid off, and I only got a new car because something happened. My first car was bought for me. Had a wreck in that one, got a new one.
Yeah.
That one, somebody totaled it, got a new one. The last one had it. It just started breaking down like towards the end, and had of course get a new one. And then paid this one off, and forgot I had about to be teenager at the time. And was like, dang, should we get her a new car? And mom was like, no, nothing is wrong with the Accord. That's a good start for her.
That's right.
So let her get that, and then y'all talk about
it. Get something that you want.
And that's what she said. She said, get you something. My mom has been like that though. She's always had a car note, and she just got the new Cadillac XLT. 2021. The people called me and said they got the 23s.
Not the people.
I'm like, Parker Cadillac. I'm like, first of all, you need to tell Parker Cadillac to kick rocks and enjoy what you got, bitch. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just, I'm gonna pay this one off, and I ain't gonna have one last. Okay, so we're gonna move to the next one. Okay, stop that thing and get back on. Okay, so yeah. Now our next spillers. Candy was on one about this one earlier. I'm gonna see if she gonna be quiet or what she gonna do. You gonna be humble for the people, or you gonna? Okay. So our second spill trend is about our girl, our princess. Is she a princess?
She is not our princess.
Oh well, she's their princess. Yeah, she's there. She's the pretty
But
British
she's one of
princess.
us.
But she's definitely one of us.
I don't know if she's a princess, though.
That's what I was gonna say. I know he quit his royal duties, so.
Well, I know. Don't
her
title
kids.
Duchess.
Okay, Duchess. Get us together then.
Okay.
First of all, she's not a princess. She's a duchess.
Okay. I think the kids are prince and princess.
So now, the kids did.
Like, since they
So they did automatically get the heir, even though their parent, the daddy quit royal duties.
Yes. His Royal Highness for Archie and her Royal Highness for their daughter.
Oh. So that's good to know. We didn't talk about that at the beginning a little bit ago. I didn't know that they were still.
Because I saw something on CNN with like what?
Oh, baby, don't do that. Daddy, grandma, I need y'all to get those. I got y'all in here for a reason.
That was the queen.
Listen, we rebuke that spirit. We rebuke that. Get out, y'all spillers. One of the roses just fell when we started talking about the British royal family. First of all, you don't stand a place in the here. So move around. Daddy, grandma, and brother-in-law, I need y'all to step up. What we got going on? We need to Okay.
But I was looking at something. I was an article on CNN where they had like the lineage, like with the org chart or whatever, and how everything like switched. And that's when I saw that the kids had, were given their titles.
Okay, good. So I love to hear that. That makes me feel like much better.
Yeah.
Because I've never been I don't want to sound rude, so I'm not gonna say I've never been a fan. But I've never really been interested in the British royal family until Meghan Markle married Prince Harry. And that's when I was like, oh my God, let me figure out and see what's going on because sis like in the palace. You know what I'm saying? Right. So what is this about? And as I read it and I read some stuff, watched some stuff, I was like, I don't know if I'm too excited about this for her.
Right.
But the trend is, as a human being, I have to say rest in peace to Queen Elizabeth. Blessings and prayers and peace and healing energy to her family. She was 96 years old, y'all. She was 96. A good life. So she lived a long, good life.
She did.
Yeah, she did. So rest in peace to her. My the dialogue that I want to create really quick is Meghan Markle. She is married to Prince Harry, who was the son of the late Princess Diana Ross.
Not Diana Ross.
Diana Ross. Is it the one?
Princess Diana.
Prince Princess Diana. Diana, I'm coming out. Diana Ross coming out, ain't she? But anyway, to Princess Diana, she's married to her son, Harry.
And he's fine.
And he's so handsome with that red facial hair.
And
his swag, everything about him is just cool. I just
always
it.
I mean, I'm like, yes, Harry, and come on, Megan. She got him, but you know, the family did not like Megan from day one because she's a divorcee, and according to the bylaws and all this stuff in the royal family, they cannot marry divorcees. If they do marry divorcees, that person will not have like a title and all of that good stuff. But of course there was an exception.
However,
that's how I was saying. Of course there was an exception.
Right. What is she now?
She's the queen consort.
Okay.
So that's like you're not the queen, but you know we give you a little title. That's because Queen Elizabeth, of course, loved everything about her. I'm pretty sure that's who she wanted Prince Charles or King Charles now to marry prior to Diana. Anyway, Meghan went through a lot with the royal family, with the community, of course, not being accepted because she was black. Thank God I'm black. Nah, just anyway, because as light as she is, she's black, blackety black.
Right.
And that's a fact. And like Ken said earlier, she probably didn't realize how black she was until she became a member of the British royal family. I mean, her mama is like chocolate with long dreadlocks, so I'm still confused as to, sis, what did you think was going to happen when you got down here?
Right.
But anyway,
and from her not being in the royal family, not being from Britain, you know?
Yeah, just an entire culture shock. Yeah, it was just a complete culture shock in every way for her, I'm sure. However, they made her very uncomfortable. And I say they because I don't feel like much was done to make her comfortable, to make her feel accepted. So, of course, because of that, Prince Harry quit his royal duties and he wanted no part of the business part of the royal family. He just wanted to be a family member because of the scrutiny that his wife, of course, was going through. Well, she's back with the royal family, showing face. She's slaying though, y'all. I'm just gonna say she's slaying. And then that girl came out there with the Princess Diana little crochet outfit on, the black and the red rose.
Yes.
She's killing it, right?
Sending messages.
Right.
Literally. And then just her now I've watched her interactions with the Prince William and Kate, and it's been really like shady. Like, don't talk to me. Like, you ain't been talking to me.
It's been like that from the beginning.
Yeah, it has. I thought at one point that they were trying to work it out because I saw them at a tennis match, like smiling and laughing.
Remember, so like it was all the scrutiny when they got married, right? And everybody was looking at how their faces were looking when they how close or how far away they were standing from each other and all that stuff. And then I think something happened, and then Meghan had to come back and say, no, that didn't happen. Like, the media put something out there, like, her and Kate got into it for something, and she was like, that literally never happened. Like, y'all are making stuff up. But they look very uncomfortable. They don't look like sister-in-laws.
At all.
They look very uncomfortable. But, I imagine that with them being stateside for the vast majority of the year, and William and Kate raising their kids, it's like, how much interaction are they really getting?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I often wonder about that, especially with your kids being first cousins. Like, these are your only first cousins. Like, how do you cherish the importance of their relationships? Like, what are you doing to make sure that they get the autonomy to have that bond? Like, you can't, just because you're mad or you don't like them for whatever reason, you're going to, make your kids pay for the relationship that they should be able to have.
And I don't think they care about the relationship. They went into immediate distancing.
They did.
And from the point of the release of what really happened with that interview with Oprah. That was just like arm's length with everybody.
But it's their truth. So it's almost like we understand that this is royal business, but these are people's emotions and their truth. Like, how can you disregard that? Like, you have no empathy for how they really feel because it's royal business. However they talk. Like,
I feel like they have not treated her as a human. I feel like they've treated her as a position. You know what I mean?
Position.
And that's why they can separate it. That's why they don't feel any kind of empathy towards her, because I don't think that they're looking at her as
family.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And they weren't so treating her as a position that makes sense. They weren't looking at her as family, but the person in the position is not the person that they wanted in the position. So that's why a lot of that negative energy and that, negative connotation was projected to her, and she felt it, because it's like, why are you here, Ike? Like, why are you here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, that sucks.
Shout out to Harry though.
Shout out to Harry, baby. Stand up, guy.
The way he stood up.
Listen. And he was not going, and he made that clear with Oprah too. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. You know, at the end of the day, this is my family.
Right.
Like, I created this family, and if nobody else is here, they're going to be here.
Right.
So this is where my loyalty stands. Shout out to Harry, not
Yes.
for everyone in the world.
Yes. Oh, hey, Harry.
Did you add anything to that part? Because I'm gonna ask a little question. So if your daughters, cause y'all, oh my gosh, Phyllis, y'all gotta make sure y'all watch the YouTube so y'all can see Candy's face. Cause baby, that face she gave me was like, first of all, well, hold up, what are you doing here? Like, what you doing? But like, seriously, how would you all feel if you were Megan's mama and your girls were Megan's? Because you girls y'all have black girls.
That's right.
Like, y'all have black, beautiful, smart, brilliant, vivacious, got their own minds, girls. Yeah. Like, how would you feel if you were Megan's mama and your baby girls were Megan's? Like, y'all know I'm straight from the neighborhood, so I'm not even gonna respond to it.
Would not be okay with it, and what advice can you give your child in that position? Because you're basically in this whole world where you're an outsider, you're things that they don't like, divorcee, they're worried about your skin color, worried about your children. I mean, there's no respect there, no relationship there. So you're in a position where, though you love this man and he obviously loves her and adores her, you're in a position where you're going to be under scrutiny, not just within the family, but the media and even the people. At one point, it was always an opportunity to critique her when she was doing
all the time.
From the moment that she came in, really,
her walk,
all of that,
the way that she bowed and acknowledged the queen, it was deep enough.
All of that, constant comparisons to her sister-in-law. So it was like a situation where just coming into that, it's you against the world.
Right.
You and your husband against the world.
Right.
So that's something where you have to be supportive.
Yeah.
Always remind them of who they are and the value they bring, and be strong and speak up and tell your truth like she ended up doing.
Yeah, I think for me the good thing, one thing that I think that the mom knew Harry as a person.
Yeah.
I don't think that she was really surprised that they ended up leaving and going to California and things like that. And so, knowing that there was a level of protection that Harry was going to provide to her daughter would seem to be comforting. And so for me, you love who you love, right? So I'm not going to ever dissuade or try to, manipulate my child to do what I want her to do as far as relationships or anything is concerned, really. But I absolutely would make sure that this person, knowing that she's going to be dealing with these things, that this person is going to always have her back and be there for her when I can't be there for her, And I don't think anybody knows, no one knows their child better than the mother.
Yeah.
And so, she, as black as she is, I'm sure she knew that her daughter, even if her daughter didn't know, that she was going to be up against some of these things. But the fact that she was supportive, I think, was, found in, she knew who Harry was, knew that he was going to really, do what the Bible says, like leave his family and cleave with his wife. And that's going to be the priority. So yeah, that's how I would handle it too. Making sure the man that wants to marry your daughter.
Absolutely. Yes. And that's so important. That's so important, even as women raising daughters. Like, we know that eventually our girls will have to start dating, and we have to, go through the times when they have the
right.
the do's, the don'ts, the they thinks and the really's nots, and
right.
we're gonna have to. We know that that's something that we're gonna have to experience, but we also know that when it comes down to it, and their forever comes, we'll be secure in knowing that their forever is choosing them above any and everything, and that is imperative. So I appreciate Harry. Harry was like a black man. You know, the Diary of a Mad Black Woman. He was the Diary of a Mad Black Man. White woman. What is a British man? He was mad as hell at the end of the day. And he let them know, like, at the end of the day. So, shout out to the Harrys and to the black mamas raising Harrys. Raise them like Harry. Raise them biblically. You know, don't have them so messed up over you that they're willing to jeopardize their family just to make you happy.
Right.
You know, because at the end of the day, it's their happiness that counts. And once they're not happy, baby, you're going to feel it. Because there's some resentment and some more stuff that's going to stem from that. And I'm sure you would not want words.
Exactly.
Oh, did y'all want to add something to that?
I think you made an excellent point just on the biblical marriage, him following that, raising your sons to be that biblical husband, so you can be a good husband to your spouse. And that goes across so many different.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that all day. That's another episode. We're gonna have to break that episode up because we can definitely have that conversation all day. Okay, well we're getting ready to move on. So I pause it if you all have to urinate.
Oh my God.
Y'all know YouTube, y'all know y'all get through it.
I love it.
Wash your hands or whatever, and then when we go back,
wash your hands.
I mean,
what was washing your hands?
some people be meticulous and just a little. I don't know. Just a little. I don't know. So we're getting ready to go into our topics. When I come back, I'm going to shout out Philip and Quincy because I have a little jazz part to where they do their little thing, right? And then we're going to go into our topic. The first thing I'm going to say is I'm so glad that you all are here. And I'm going to ask you to tell me something. Tell the spillers about yourselves, who you are, some things that you do in the community of Little Rock, Texas. Duke. Where is Duke?
North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina. I was going to say it's one of the Carolinas, but just tell us some things that you all do in your community, tell us about your children.
Okay.
And then it's dead.
And then what?
That's dead. That's that.
I love it. I got that immediately.
Thank you.
My daughter would say,
Listen.
Are we recording?
We are.
Listen,
I said that's it. Listen,
let's turn the light down. Y'all got the candle on. Let's turn the light down.
I normally edit and I cut these clips off, but I am not editing none of this, baby. You getting all this. All of it.
What was it back in the day, like HBO after HBO or something?
BT Uncut,
Not BT Uncut, but whatever. Anyway, I thought that's where we was going.
Baby,
It's Sunday.
Not
I'm back.
Not today.
I'm back.
Okay, so I'm gonna press play and then the jazz record and then the jazz will go and then when it finishes I'll come in.
Okay.
Hey. Shout out to Quincy Q-Note Watson, Sexy Chocolate. That's what Philly says. And Philly Moo, aka Philip Mouton, Trap Jazz in our city of Little Rock, Arkansas. That was them. If you all want them, go down. Tidal, I promise you, Apple Music. And the albums are dope. So go download and enjoy. Now back to the subject at hand. Hey, and my friends don't understand. And never know you're gonna be right. Okay, I don't really know lyrics. It's the culture though, so I know some of it. We're back. I am again super excited that my girls are here, Candy and Angie. Listen, they got to tell y'all some stuff about themselves. Again, they have rap sheets, but they're not criminal rap sheets. They review the criminal rap sheets, but their rap sheets are amazing. So I want to give them an opportunity to tell you all about themselves, things that they do in the community, and then maybe some future things that they have coming up, like running for judge.
Absolutely.
I just thought I'd throw it out there. But anyway, we'll start with you, Angie. Tell us about yourself, career-wise, personal-wise, and all that fancy stuff.
Okay. Well, my name is Angela Kendrick. I am a practicing attorney. I have a law firm in Little Rock, Arkansas. I handle cases in the whole state of Arkansas, and I take certain matters in Texas, primarily criminal defense. And the interesting thing about that, when I started my practice, I started out doing civil work, personal injury, and I thought
we
that
worked
was
together.
We did.
We worked
Oh,
together.
wow.
Yes. Which was wonderful.
It
experience.
was.
It was, but I thought
Was
that
that a
would
long
be
time
the
Huh?
Was that a long time ago?
2009, 10.
Baby, yes.
Yes.
Come on in.
Yeah.
They get their time on it. Okay, keep going.
It
I'm
was a
sorry.
little time under the belt.
Right.
But I thought that
Right.
was going to be the niche for me, that it would be, personal injury, medical malpractice.
Because you were so good at it. I mean, you still are, but I mean, you were really good at it early in your law career.
I found passion with criminal defense.
Really?
And I thought that was something I would never do.
Mhm.
In fact, when I first started out, I would, send those cases to other attorneys because criminal practice, it's a completely different animal.
Yeah.
It's so much
Yeah.
at stake, people's liberty,
Mhm.
and in some cases their lives even. So I would, send those to the seasoned criminal law practitioners.
Mm.
Well, I started doing criminal defense in Texas when I lived there because I met this attorney. He did a lot of criminal defense,
Mhm.
and it started out with me working with him because I'm bilingual and I speak Spanish.
Can you
Hablo
say something?
español
It was in Miami. I don't know if I gotta get this out before I forget. You know, I forget. We were in Miami and our Uber drivers were all Hispanic. Girl, Angie just getting there.
She got y'all where
And
y'all
I'm
need to
like,
go.
I'm talking about, baby, where we need to go, the food, everything. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? But it was so amazing to hear
That's the
a
middle
black
part.
woman to be so fluent like that. I mean, she kept, and I'm ignorant. So I'd be like, Angie, ask him. Okay, keep going.
So that was how I started. I would assist different ones with their client communications that, when they had cases involving Spanish speakers. Then I started, doing a little bit here and there, primarily drug cases in the beginning. That's expanded to some of everything now. And I'm passionate about those because a lot of times that's our opportunity to help people in our communities.
Mhm.
Because you see all types of things from people being falsely accused of crimes. I had a trial that I did in April where the individual was falsely accused. So you're fighting for people's rights and helping them restore their lives, and so
Right.
that's been very much so an area that I've been passionate about. Just trying to help these young men catch them youngest
Right.
as possible. To start making that turnaround, giving them second opportunities so they can go to
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
Right.
You see sometimes within the legal system, in some areas, disparate treatment as far as offers when it comes time for pleading,
Mhm.
and even the way you're perceived, just getting a fair trial going into
Right.
court. So very much so an area for me. Now, as far as what I do as far as working in the community, I am very passionate about domestic violence, and usually every October I have an initiative, my own personal, where I do pro bono representation for women or men who are in situations where they have batterers and they're trying to address whatever issues stem from that. And so that's been something I've been doing since 2017
Okay.
and plan to continue, just because that's an area where often you see people overlooked. Sometimes in those situations they don't have means because the person who's abusive controls the
Cause the
purse
money,
string.
right.
So
The
you
breadwinner.
can't afford, exactly, you can't afford to get whatever legal assistance you need. So I've found that to be an area where I can give back and help people.
Mhm.
other community service through sorority. Haven't been as active here recently with my loved one going through what she's going through, but the plan is to jump in with both feet.
Well, what sorority is that? The only one that there is.
First and the finest.
Ken, now wait. Listen, Ken.
All I
I need him to say.
Okay. The first one.
Okay.
The first and the finest.
Ken, don't get me in trouble. Speaking facts, let's say it's out the camera and the rest of the recording.
I told her I'm gonna give it to you like a
Don't get it,
I hate when people like, oh, what sorority you put up? What I'm doing? Like, that was my doing.
Right.
Y'all
Okay. Alpha.
That's right.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one.
First and the finest. I'm proud to be a member.
When
I have to
how
thank
many years?
you for that because this is she brought me along.
Come on, Ken. How many years is it for you? Years is it for you?
Since 2011.
Okay, come on, 11 years. Ew.
Spring 2011.
Ew.
Yes.
All right, you want to tell us something about your daughter, or you want to wait until we get to it?
Absolutely. Now, with regard to my daughter, I could go on and on, so you'll probably have to cut me off. She attends University of Arkansas Little Rock. She is an aspiring opera singer. She's got a beautiful voice.
Oh my gosh, it's so sad. Like, if you see this black girl, you'll be like, where is it coming from?
With Angel speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Like, open her mouth and
Yeah, it's amazing.
angels come out.
It blew me away.
Beautiful.
But you know, she's been singing since she was pretty much a baby. I mean, she would always sing. She sang every commercial. She picked songs up, you know, playing on the radio. And I knew she sang, but I didn't know she could sing.
Yeah.
Until she was about 9.
She's so proper. I didn't know she could sing.
Baby, it's fine. I know she can sing. Black folks say, I know she can sing, but I know she can sing.
She was about 9, and I'm in law school at the time, so she's at my parents, and they're watching her while I'm in class. So my mom, she calls me, and she's like, I've got something to show you when you get here. I cannot wait, you know. So I get there, she has my baby sing. It was a song by Yolanda Adams, I Got the Victory. And I mean, she was killing, and she sounded just like Yolanda did on the record. I'm like, oh, I didn't know she could do that.
Right.
Was mimicking commercials.
Yeah. But I didn't know that she could just go and take it there.
Yeah.
But over the years, her voice has developed. She's always been active in choirs, in school, church, etc. So she's getting really good experiences now with the program that she's in. She got to perform at Carnegie Hall.
Yes,
Carnegie Hall.
Yeah. So that was my New York trip. Going out
That's
to
when y'all
support
saw my
her.
cousin, because he was there.
Yes,
he got to perform too, so that was
which
dope.
was exciting
Yeah.
to see that opportunity for
Yeah.
so many people.
Yeah.
The next thing she's performing in London
Really?
next year.
Okay.
Yes, their equivalent of Carnegie Hall. So it is going to be a beautiful experience for me because, of course, I'm going and supporting and I get to travel.
Yes.
But how did she get to
Opera.
Yeah.
You know, that's funny because I used to play violin. Still kind of play around with it sometimes.
know that.
In my own free time, perform. But I would listen to a lot of classical music.
Okay, gotcha.
That makes sense.
So she got those exposures and she was just drawn to it really on her own and did not expect that.
That's dope. And I played classical music. I think I was probably about 5 months pregnant. And my OB/GYN, she told me, play some classical music and put the headphones to your stomach in, because she says that activates and stimulates the brain. And I do that now in my classroom. Like, my students will come in. Now we do have, you know, R&B, little rap sometimes, but most of the time that comes in, it's classical in the background because it's calming, it's relaxing, and it does stimulate like your thoughts and stuff. And Mackenzie is like that now. Like, she's so versatile. Like, you go in there, on the way to church, she bumping. And this is a Barada. You know, bumping Tupac.
Right.
And on the way to school, it's like jazz, classical, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Just real versatile. So I love that.
That's how my daughter is too. Like, she listens to all music. She loves to sing all types of music.
Yeah.
But it's something special about that.
Yeah.
Classical.
Yeah.
You know, being able to sing that way, being classically trained. Because you can do that, you can sing anything.
Yeah.
And I'll give you some examples of popular singers. Mariah Carey, classically trained.
Okay.
Even Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce.
Classically trained. You know, she stepped herself up because there was a point when she was not, and then she started doing those lessons. You can hear it on her recordings, the change when she started training her voice. So it opens up opportunities for you, even if you don't do that type of music.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And that's dope because I watched her videos on Facebook and I'm like, where did this black girl come from and why is she hit rock? I'm just waiting to watch where she goes because I know she's going somewhere.
Right. Yes. I'm looking forward to it because I know that she will probably end up having the life where she's not here.
Right. And she's traveling.
New York, traveling. Most people that sing opera, they sing in several opera houses in Europe and in the U.S. So I'm expecting.
And they're super big in Europe, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, she's not gonna stay here.
Oh, definitely not. Maybe we can get on the plane and go.
Okay,
definitely.
I don't know if she would want us to.
Right. Being that family, you know, opera's never real quiet and subtle and weird. You gotta sing, girl.
Yep.
That would be nice though. You know, shake it up.
Make it loosen up.
Right.
I know y'all want to scream for y'all people.
Right.
Okay, Candy, incomparable.
Yes.
Candy Shipman Hughes. So tell us about you, darling.
So I am a corporate attorney.
Corporate?
Yeah, I realized very quickly that.
What? Keep going. That was my bad. Keep going.
That the courtroom life was not for me. I feel like, so I worked in private practice. I was an assistant city attorney, and those were my first two experiences right out of law school. And, you know, at that point, I didn't have any kids, but I knew I wanted, you know, a family and things like that. And I did not feel like I was going to have that balance. Like, I knew before I even had the kids that this is not the life that that I wanted. You know what I mean? And they paid pennies, and so I'm like, I'm not. No, this is not for me. Appreciate the experience, right? Like the path that I've gone on has been, you know, one that has been very fulfilling, and I found the value in those experiences. But no, when my time is up, I'm out of here. You know, I'm out of here. So I mostly deal with contracts. So I'm a transactional lawyer, and where I kind of get I'm kind of an extrovert introvert. So I get my, you know, introvert feel from dealing with the contracts, but I also handle human resource issues, corporate governance issues. So that's where I get my extrovert, you know, people kind of feel or whatever. So I'm in a good place where I feel like the balance that I have with work makes it feel less like work. Yeah. You know what I mean? And for a long time I felt like I was just working, you know. So, you know, just kind of that confirmation.
Do you feel that transactional work is less stressful than litigation?
Yes, absolutely. And I think, like, cause I'm a very emotional person, and so if I had to deal with people like you do, like if I knew that how I argued this case could be, you know, whether this person walks out the door or goes to prison, that will weigh too heavy on me.
And I hate to stop you, but I talked to Sora Carr when she came to the spiel, and I asked her that. I was like, how do you not get emotionally involved in cases? Because people's life is contingent upon whatever that gavel says.
Right.
Gosh.
So I couldn't do it at that, but you know, that's the beauty about law school and all the courses that we take and the different things that we learn. You know, there are various avenues that you can, go down to figure out what, fits best for you. I'm just thankful that I learned that pretty quickly. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I can't, my life is heavy enough as it is. I can't carry the weight of somebody else's too. You know what I mean? So, shout out to you, Ange, and all the other litigators out there. Because I couldn't do it. So I have 2 kids.
2 beautiful kids.
Girl, they are a mess. Gorgeous. They are a mess. I have a daughter who is 12, going on 21. And
so mature. Oh my God.
I think.
And welcome to the taller than.
Taller than welcome.
But
even with your heels on early, Kari was still like,
yes.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
And she hadn't even hit her second growth spurt yet.
Right, she was just getting started.
Her shoe is bigger. Her foot is bigger than mine. Bigger shoe and stuff. Yeah. But I was talking to my mom the other day about Kari gonna kill me. But we had the sneaker ball at our church a couple of weekends ago, and she was so upset because we made her come home like an hour before it was scheduled to end. It's supposed to end at 11:30. And I was like, your curfew is 10:30. It was from sixth graders to 12th graders. And I said, you are not staying out partying with people in high school. Right. And she back in the back, and she all huffing and puffing and going on. I was like, be thankful that you could go anyway. Be thankful that there was an opportunity that the church, a safe space allowed you to, actually go or whatever. But I had to remind her and myself, like, you're 12. Like, you taller than you still 12 years old. You know what I mean? And so, but she is a hard worker. She is involved in so many different things. Mm-hmm. This is the first year that she's been a cheerleader for the school, and she, my thing is, you can do whatever you want to do. We will pay for whatever you want. We will take you here, there, and everywhere. But as soon as those grades slip, you're cut off.
Right.
You're cut off.
That's my household.
Yes, I don't care. And she's like, Mama, you would make me dress out and go to the game and not cheer if I got a bad grade. Absolutely.
And that's good that you let me go to the game, because I'm at home and you're gonna be in that room in them books. Who cares?
Right.
And it's crazy because my mother was kind of strict on me, but I was I was literally good with a B. Mm-hmm. And with math, a C, baby. Give me a C, Jesus. Teacher, can I just give me a credit off to the I hated math. But I was okay with that. But I'm so different when it comes to the kids.
Yeah.
Like, no, man,
higher.
You talking about you want to do this and you want to do that? A? Like, you shouldn't even feel comfortable getting a B. Right. Like, where are they do that at?
Right.
But anyway, you want.
Right. And then, me too. My son is 9, and
don't be talking to you. I'm sorry.
I don't know. DJ, he still loves his mama.
Yeah, he gonna be talking to you, but he gonna be your baby. But
yeah,
I
have to tell him.
Okay.
I have to tell him all the time, like, you're not a baby, but you're my baby.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't get it twisted.
And that will never change.
That will never change.
And I heard that mama's boy that's mamas with sons, I heard that love is different.
It's different. It is different. Now, that girl, Kari, she loves me to death. But it's different with DJ.
Yeah.
He coming knocking on my door. Mama, do you need something?
Aww.
You know what I mean? Like, let me bring some water. I was in the kitchen. That one, she FaceTiming me from her room. Mama, can you bring me some water?
That is so funny.
Can you bring me some water?
That's what we do.
What's wrong with your leg? I'm tired. And then I'm the fool. Get up and go get it.
Temperature.
We're in the glass, want a straw,
that might shift as she gets older.
She might
start doing more for you.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I'm 38.
Don't put me in a home.
Listen, I'm 38, and my mama comes over here every weekend, every Saturday morning. She's dotting my door. The bacon is out. The eggs is out. Mama, go ahead, whip it up. Ask my daughter. Like, my husband say, when she come over, you need me cooking for her. I be like, listen, I do everything, but Mama, can you cook? Mama, can you something? That ain't gonna never change. But you'll love it, Cause my mother, like, she still loves it. Like, she loves being able to do that type of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is that everybody wants to feel wanted, right? You know what I mean? So I'll do
and
it.
girls
happily.
just different, especially these days. They don't be studying us. Like our girls know we love them, and we know they love us.
Right.
But baby, they do not be studying us.
Right.
Mama, Mackenzie will literally text on walking from the bus stop. Can you start me some bath water? Like, sis, I just got in. What we doing here? But keep going, kid.
Who here for who?
Right.
So I'm involved in a lot in the community. I'm a commissioner for Central Arkansas Water, one of the largest water utility in the state. Been on there for going on 7 years now. President of the Leadership Foundation for Women. Shout out to Leadership Foundation. I'm a graduate of Duke University.
Yeah.
And so I do annually, we interview prospective students. I think they are going into their senior year. So I interview those students. I've been doing that ever since I graduated.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
how many, like, thousands of students? Like, are you on the list?
It's regional, so I do them for people in Pulaski County.
Okay,
so
okay.
I can pick how many. They'll send us. We have 30 students that need to be interviewed this season.
Okay.
How many can you handle or whatever. But yeah, that's always very interesting to kind of see what these kids. I mean, they're so much smarter than us. Just they are. Just to see the stuff that they're doing, like all the experiences they've had by the time they become seniors. It's like, I mean, it's
definitely different. Cause I'm just like, I was smart, but I was not that. This is a different level.
They are,
and it's beautiful to see. Yeah.
More power to them. So, I'm like, go ahead, make me $1 million.
Right. Retire me.
Yes, retire me. Yeah. So anyway, I'm good. I am laser focused on my career right now and career development, and really just trying to make sure my kids are good, are happy, are good citizens, good stewards, and good little Christian kids. Yeah, I am. We talked earlier. I think one of my proudest moments has been both of my kids making the decision to get baptized on their own. Like when Kyrie was 7 when she decided she wanted to get baptized, and DJ just got baptized a couple weeks ago, and he's 9. So
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, with that, that I take no credit for that because I'm a work in progress. I give a lot of credit to my parents. My dad is a minister, but also our church, and just like the robust curriculum that they have for, kids, kindergarten all the way through senior year, and just even exposing them to certain things that they would have, would not have been exposed to, or what I couldn't expose them to.
Their village.
Yeah.
Village, we talked about that on episode 1, the village, and one thing Mr. Wyatt said was the church. He said we may not think about it, we may not know how important the church role is in our child's life, but that's the village, because like you said, they teach our children things that we cannot teach them.
Right.
It's not that we don't have the resource to be able to do it, but the way that they need it done, but the way that they need it done is so good to have a church that can instill those practices and teach those babies the exact way that they need to be, in the way the Bible says to do it. With fidelity and genuinely, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then for your babies to just make that choice on their own. The autonomy for them to have the maturity to say, hey, I want to be a part of the stewardship. You know what I'm saying? Does your soul some? I know it did mine, because I was like, Lord, when I go before my baby, I know she's going to be good, because I know who she's going to be with.
Yeah. I cried so much. I cried so heavy when DJ got baptized, both of them, but with him, mostly because he is a black man. And, I just was like, Lord, just follow him and keep him and, go before him when I'm not there, and to know that he is gonna be okay regardless of how his life turns out. Like, I was like, okay, I've done a pretty good job. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I saw your pictures, boo. You was crying.
I was
crying. You had the tears.
I didn't realize. Well, I didn't realize they were taking photos or whatever. But that was just like but that was just a real moment. Yeah, it was.
And sometimes people need to see that so that they can know that this is the real deal Holyfield. You know what I'm saying? This is an important season of my child's life, and for that, you really showed your gratitude, you know what I'm saying, to God. And it's awesome to see because we need to see that as human beings, as black women, you know what I'm saying? Even for the black women that does not have children, to see another black woman experiencing that should have, you know what I'm saying, touched you. Oh, child. I got some booked and busy bosses.
Well, let's
and
not
the building.
forget the recent accolade that you received.
Yeah.
Tell us about
it. So I am the Little Rock Regional Chambers 2022 Outstanding Young Professional.
That's huge.
Yeah. And I knew that I was a finalist because, I had to do like pre-record videos and things like that to market for the event. But I didn't, I'm always appreciative and grateful for any award recognition or anything that I get. But, the other two people that were in the categories, they were just as phenomenal too, So I was like, okay, I'm just happy to be a finalist. So when she called my name, I was like, yo, what?
Like Lizzo, did you have a speech prepared?
I did not. No, because they didn't tell us that we were gonna have to give like a thank you speech, and so I was just I was so I'm in a state of overwhelm just in general in my life right now, but I was so overwhelmed. I got up and I was like, yo, they didn't tell me. I was like, they didn't tell me we were going to have to give a speech. Thank you to the chamber. Thank y'all for the nomination. Whoever nominated me, y'all have a good lunch. Like, I didn't
shout nobody out. You was just overwhelmed. Just said thank you.
I just said thank you.
I don't know what else to say. Well, that was from your heart, so that was good. And then it caught you off guard, so but sometimes what they say, I was supposed to get y'all some flowers. Lord, I'm gonna give Mr. Wilson because I promise I told that man. Remind me to go get the girls some flowers. Y'all see my flowers on the wall? I'm sure gonna cut them up and give them to you. Thank you. But when they say give people their roses while they're here, I think that's really important. So y'all deserve roses. So whenever you're nominated, even just being nominated for something,
that's right.
Like that's dumb dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and because I've been having problems sometimes. Like Mary Scott and Antoine can tell you, like, I'm like, y'all so humble. Like,
what would you be doing?
I was gonna say I'm Rick James, but this is not a rated podcast. But listen, y'all are humble. Y'all appreciate I love it. Jesus tell us, just stay humble. I appreciate all that. But it is okay to pat yourself on the back. And it is okay to make it known. Beyonce said, I'm number one. I'm the only one. Like, do it. It is okay. So do it more, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we appreciate y'all, and our black girls need to see that. Because we need our black girls to know it's okay to pat yourselves in the back. Because unfortunately, they're going to be around people that's not, the people that they want to do it is not going to do it. Period. But it's people like the people that's nominating you, like the chamber, and like the commissions, and like the sororities. They're going to do it, but the people that they really want it from are not going to do it. So, here are y'all flowers.
Symbolic flowers.
Here. So great job. We appreciate what y'all are doing. Y'all, we could have just had a podcast just about that, but we're not. We're gonna talk about being black women raising black girls. Black Girl Magic. So we're on to our episode. Thank you all for telling the people about you all. Angie, can you give your do y'all do a social media shout outs in case people wanna follow the keep up with y'all?
I do.
Okay. Well, yeah, because I feel like black women need to see this and need to know that you never know who you're motivating. So, Angie, give your social media shout out, and then Ken, give yours. And, people going to be watching y'all. And I promise y'all, they're going to DM me. Don't DM me, sis. She told you her social media. Sis so you need to or sir. Sis or sir. She told you what it was. So reach out to her. So, Angie, you're first.
Okay, I have a Facebook, Attorney Angela Kendrick, I believe is what it is. Same on Instagram and also Twitter.
All right. You don't have Instagram? Okay, same on Instagram. Okay, you see it. Girl, that's the name. It's the same on everything. I get about 17 different names. Go, Ken.
My Instagram handle is Kandi1908, KANDI 1908, and I just got on Twitter literally like last night. I woke up at like 2:00 this morning and like we gonna start a Twitter account. I don't know why.
I've been thinking about that because they say Twitter been jumping, so I think I'll do a little Twitter.
Yeah,
No,
you know.
you didn't have Twitter. Remember, we
I-
only used to be on Twitter
Yeah,
at a certain
I
point.
did.
you have one?
I
then?
did back then, but it was more like sorority related. It wasn't
Okay,
really
yes.
like personal or whatever.
Yes.
And so this one is gonna be a more personal one. So that's Attorney Kandi. It's ATTYKNDI. So
Okay.
I need to get my followers up, and I need to follow people on Twitter.
So y'all heard their handles. Go ahead and follow them and check them out. Okay, so I stopped it. Who at the door? Hey y'all, like people be at the Come on, Kyra, girl. When you come in, you gotta speak to the camera.
What did you say?
She's talking about
Did you tell them what I said?
Yeah, I said we can. So they said they're outside, and then
Outside of what?
the house.
My house?
Tell them you're calling us and say.
Did you talk to them?
I said we are not there. You go to your house unless you want to wait. And the 3 dots are on.
Right now? Hold on.
Sit unless you wanna wait.
Hey, I'm sorry. We're still doing the podcast. Are you going? Do you have something to do? Are you going back to his house? To your house? Do you have something to do? You can drop him off here if you want me to send the address. It's out off Colonel Glenn. So it's on the way to your house. Okay, I'll text you the address right now. Okay, bye. I'm sorry, hold on.
Did I lock the door? Can y'all, I'll cut this part out. I'm gonna unlock the door so Kari can just open the door when we come.
Okay.
I was gonna put that rose back up there, but hell, it might fall down again. And she gone out. We don't know if she got on the door or not. She gone. Kari, hey, my husband. Did anybody go out here? Oh, Mackenzie. Huh?
Wow, this fan is powerful. I like that.
The fan. You know, I'm not hot up here, but I'm hot in these jeans.
It's only in my face, girl. Like
Really?
my body's fine. And you know, once I get a little warm, I start
Uh-huh.
shining like new money.
Your brother comes. Yeah, I think that's what your mama doing.
Yes, he's coming here, Kyrie. We don't have much longer, but he's coming here.
Yeah, we don't have much longer. We just gonna go over a couple questions real quick. It's been good. You been hearing us? Baby, come eat candy real quick. So
I
you
bet
know.
him, but he got
Right, we gonna be
it.
close to this shit. He be alright.
It
is
is
time.
y'all ain't through.
Candy, this my husband, Candy, this candy.
He just talking.
I see you.
They crazy as hell. You think I'm crazy?
You are for real?
If you see our text messages, you know we talk.
Yeah.
We be texting
Well,
paragraphs.
Was they crazy?
No, I'm just saying we text a whole lot. So imagine what happened when we
But I
did.
met her outside. I just didn't tell her my name.
Oh, you made candy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Leaving.
I met both of them. Don't worry about that. You
What you doing?
Okay.
Okay, guys, here I come. I have for me just
So you like
We actually need to take a trip somewhere.
I know. I'm hoping that this week
No, because I
when
forgot.
I'm, up there that I get a better sense of how much they want me to actually travel. Like, of course I expect to travel now because it's training and stuff, but like, are you want me up there quarterly? Like, well, because my entire team is up there.
Is it Indianapolis?
It's in Carmel.
We're at the Starbucks,
which
sorry.
is like,
Okay.
apparently it's like 20-30 minutes north of Indy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta get down to Indianapolis.
I know, I love it. I
Yes.
love it. I went a couple times to the conference.
Okay.
Indianapolis a little black too.
It is.
It is.
I was like, my friend Keisha left when we were going to 12th grade. That was like one of my best friends at high school, and she moved to Indianapolis and had us come for the Black Expo or something. I was like, girl, but I knew Gary, Michael Jackson. That's all I thought of in
Yeah,
Indiana.
where my dad's from.
Really?
Okay.
I was like,
Oh,
Indiana is a
Omaha.
little black,
Yeah.
but it's right there with Chicago because a lot of
Yep.
Chicagoans move there and stuff. I was
Exactly.
like, okay,
Yeah.
that makes a little sense.
But they have an NBA team, so and
The
they
Pacers,
team,
yeah.
so they
Who
go
the NFL Colts?
Yeah.
Girl, wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So normally, where the sports go.
Know what I'm
Where the
heroes go. Facts.
Things to do.
Okay, I was gonna say, so yeah, that's it. We're about to get into it. So I'm just gonna say, I don't know, questions for y'all. Cause I don't want y'all to like be in here much longer.
Just ask them.
Excuse me. Sorry. I'm gonna edit that part. That's probably the only part I'm gonna edit. Everybody else thank yeah, that's it. We about to talk. Okay? Y'all ready?
We ready?
I'm ready.
She must got some.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
I'm ready.
I don't. Okay. Listen. Okay, so we're getting into it. I be trying to keep stuff professional and stuff, but y'all know I'm like an around the way kind of girl. Like I'm really neighborhood though. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So listen, we are raising black girls. We are queens with queens in training. And I think that's amazing for the culture because we have some girls that's really gone, you know what I'm saying, do something in the world. So I'm super excited. And I'm blessed to know women that I know, in 10 years, 15 years, I'm going to sit back and say, it's my girl, baby.
Right.
Like, I know her. Like, I know we were raising Katanjis. We were raising amazing, and I'm really sincere and I'm really passionate when it comes to that, when it comes to black children, period. And Kari attends the school that I work at, and she can tell you she was kind of worried, like, why am I in class? Why I saw like a couple of people side out in her class. But I'm passionate when it comes to that. Like, I literally put my all into everything I do, and I'm biased, especially black children, because I feel like, I just feel like we're the chosen ones.
Okay.
And I feel like we have to live up to those expectations, and we have to live up to those standards. So the first question, raising black girls. What is your motivation, and where does your motivation stems from? And I know we can easily say, because I'm the mama, or that's my baby, or that's, it's a lot of people that are mamas and that just love their children.
Right.
But we are mamas who are actively involved in everything that we do and everything that our children do.
Right.
But what's the motivation in raising a successful black girl? We'll start with you, Angie, since you the OG mama, since your baby, since your baby in college, and we're raising preteens and teens.
Right.
Go ahead and start us off.
Well, the first thing, I want my daughter to have a wonderful life. I want her to have experiences that I haven't had. I want her to live better than I have. I want her to know that she can achieve her dreams no matter what they are. So I encourage her, 100% pursue whatever. Let her know she's capable, and just support her. I go to every performance she has, no matter what I have going on. I had 2 that I missed. One, I was out of town for court, so I missed that. It was a SWACTA competition. And then they had a performance. I don't think she performed at that one. She was working in a different capacity. And so I missed that one. But for the most part, I'm always there supporting her, encouraging her, letting her know that you can do whatever it is that you want to do. When she first decided this was what she wanted to do as far as the singing, she did have people saying, singing, because the first thing people think when you talk about singing, they think you want to go and do R&B or
Beyonce,
Right.
pop music, and so that is a hard path.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, and then when you start talking about opera, many people are ignorant about opera.
Mhm.
We've had other black
That's right.
performers,
Mhm.
Jessie Norman, Leontine Price, Marian Anderson, so many, Denise Grace. We have so many people that people don't really just commonly know about, to know that it's achievable.
Right.
You know, we have
Right.
stars,
Mhm.
opera stars. Jessie
Mhm.
Norman, I mean, she could go perform wherever and command whatever.
Mhm.
And so just reinforcing that, supporting that dream and that vision is the best thing that a parent can do. Instilling the spiritual values and so forth, because that's very important in life, so you're well-rounded. Letting her know she can come to me and talk to me about
Right.
anything. We had that open relationship where she could come and tell me whatever it was, because I wanted her to know, no matter what it was, I'm here.
Yep.
I didn't want her afraid of me.
Mhm.
I didn't want her to, keep secrets from me,
Yeah.
and everybody else
Yeah.
knows what's going on with
Yeah.
her but me.
Yeah.
So that relationship, and some people say it's like a sisterhood,
Mhm.
but I'm always mom.
Yeah,
Mhm.
first, mama first.
Right.
Sis. I
Right.
gotta be sis.
Right.
I'm mama first.
Right.
Exactly.
Put some respect
Right.
on my name.
Right. Right.
I love it, Ken.
I don't know. I mean, to echo a lot of what Ann said, I think that for me, for my own life, I've been very cognizant of wanting to make, my parents proud, my ancestors proud, my granddaddy proud, and I've kind of shifted as I've had kids to think about, like, what is the legacy that I want to leave for them. And like you said, I mean, you always want your children to have more, be better, experience more than what you did. And and I'm very fortunate. I'm very, very, very blessed in how I was raised, and I have a strong black mama who raised me. But I think that Kyrie's 12 years old, and it gets challenging because of she wants to be friends. But she's not old enough to be able to distinguish between the mother-daughter relationship and the friendship.
Yeah.
And so I tell her all the time, like, I am your biggest cheerleader. I am your biggest advocate.
Yeah.
I am, mama got your back
Yeah.
with schools,
Yeah.
with whomever,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But we are not friends yet.
Yeah. Yes, I love it.
Because you are not able to understand the distinction.
Yeah.
And she cool with it. You kind of hurt her feelings at first a little bit. Like, you ain't my friend. I'm like, I'm your friend. You not my friend.
Right.
Okay.
I love it.
That's
different.
That's different. That's different. But I think, just allowing your child, especially a girl, to know that they have, like I said, an advocate in you, and that they can always come to you, and that there is no judgment. Now, there may be punishment, there may be consequences, like, I'm still raising you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But know that, whatever consequences occur, I mean, it's for your good. Like, and I think, there's no rule book for being a mom. Like, it's not, I mean, times have changed from when, our parents raised us, and so even some things that may have worked on us, they are not going to work on
Yeah.
yeah. And so it's a lot of prayer, a lot of communication and conversation.
Yeah.
But at the foundation of it is letting them know that, I always have your back.
Yeah, and I absolutely love that, and that's so true. That's how I am with McKenzie. Like at the end of the day, I'm your biggest advocate, and I love you to death, and it's beyond death. Like my love for you is unimaginable. Like I literally thank God every day. Like if this is the love or a taste of the love that you have for me, thank you, and I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that she'll never be able to comprehend. However, sis, I may be your friend, but you're not my friend. I'm mama first. But it's so amazing, and it's important that we raise our girls to see the epitome of a beautiful woman, a strong woman, a successful woman holding down the fort but that's my mama.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So yeah, like I'm gonna do all that for you.
Right.
And you, like you said, I was blessed growing up. My mother was a single mother for a little bit. I still had my dad. I still had my bonus dad. Really didn't work. I didn't grow up suffering or wanting for nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Mackenzie is worse. No, I'm just kidding.
We done rolled off your tongue.
Listen,
Yeah.
I don't
That's
think she probably hadn't had a bad day in her short 15 years of life. Like, but I still want her to have more. I want her to see more, and I want her to do more.
Yep.
So that was good. Now we got to get into it. Y'all ready? Okay, so raising black girls. I noticed that social media is very, very, very big, and whether we believe it or not, it has some type of influence on our girls' lives nowadays. When we were growing up, we may have had Black Planet and MySpace, but that was like later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we were like out of high school.
Not high school.
Yes, we were like literally out. You know, now they have this stuff from the time they were born into it. You know, they were born into
They don't know
all
life without it.
Don't know life without it. My friend said on the last episode, her daughter said, "Oh, if I didn't have Wi-Fi, I would die." Like literally, and her daughter's in 5th grade. So I'm just saying, they literally listen. They were born into this. They do not know life outside of social media.
Yeah.
So we're hardworking mamas. You know, we baddies because we look good. And don't let us go out and put on our mini skirts and our heels. It's on. But we are what we want our daughters to see, and what we want our daughters to be proud of, and to know that that's gonna be me one day, whatever the case may be. Social media it's kind of opposite, because social media has a lot of us, but what's hidden on social media are the baddies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether it's natural or unnatural.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's fine. It gets all the attention. It's quick. It looks rich. It looks fun.
Right.
Nothing much went into it. They just snapped a picture and bam. You know what I'm saying?
I woke up like this.
Yeah, I woke up like this.
Yeah.
Like literally, like sis. Nah, we nothing. But we can't really tell our kids that, because they don't see them waking up like us. They see them waking up with the filters and with the, I woke up like this. That's their wake up. You know what I'm saying? They see how we wake up. Our daughters see how we wake up. But social media, they see how social media wakes up a different way.
Right.
What conversations are you having to prevent the influence of social media, you know, from, you know, intertwining with what you are trying to teach your daughters or raise them to be? Like what? Like,
well,
how
Kyrie is not yet in social media, in the social media world. She has a TikTok that is private, and I'm friends with her, and so I can see what, you know, everything. She has Snap, but she can only use the filters, and I'm her only friend on Snap too. Want to give her a little bit of freedom, but recognizing that you're not, you know, I'm not going to give you full access to this app. And you know, I'm a controlling mom, and I'll admit that proudly. And so I can log in from my phone and see what all she's done and the browsing history and all those things. And thankfully, she is not really interested in the social media world just yet. I mean, she likes the TikTok videos to be able to, you know, watch different things like a video Pinterest type thing or whatever, but she doesn't yet feel the pressures that a lot of preteens and teens feel. Like, I need to dress up, get a ring light, you know, and then start posting. She's not there yet. You know, she's not there yet. And she may not be, but I will say that the real life social media for me is, you know, are her friends, right? Absolutely. I mean, and those are the ones that have the potential to have a greater influence on her than social media or even myself or her dad, you know, or her grandparents or whatever. And so I'm very cognizant about the company that she's keeping, their parents, you know, where you going, who they people. All of that, because again, I feel like, and although I have my village, I feel like I am my children's sole protector.
That's it, and you are.
So, you know, you can be mad that I won't let you, you know, whatever, create an Instagram account or whatever the case may be.
You'll be all right.
You be okay.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be okay. So for me, it's at this age, less about social media influences and more about those real life influences. So yeah,
real life influences, y'all.
Yeah.
You're still learning.
I agree 100% with everything you just said. So the funny thing for me with my daughter being a little older, during the era when she was, those younger ages on social media, like you, every account she had, I was connected to, so I could see what she was posting, what she was doing.
Right.
Well, that was before the ring lights and all of that, so you didn't have those things trying to shape you or, working on
The
like how you
filters
felt
and-
about
yeah.
how you looked, because they were posting themselves looking, God knows what.
Right. And was so excited and confident about it. This me, I'm cute.
Exactly.
With those little cute names, Cute Poo Poo 2007.
Yeah, very little preteen
Yeah.
stuff. It was, more harmless fun for them, and it's like, as it developed over the years, that's where you saw more cyberbullying. Now the pressure to look a certain way, your ring lights and your filters and all of that. So she kind of missed that area of it, but you are right. The biggest influence with it is your circle, who you're hanging with, and like you, I shielded her. She couldn't go to just anybody's house. I didn't know the parents. In fact, most of the time
they were coming to your house.
That's how it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just because
Absolutely.
everybody's not raised the
Right.
same way with the
Right.
same values.
Yeah.
You
Right.
don't know what's going on in
Yeah.
people's homes, so helicopter.
Yeah.
A lot.
Right. And that's good.
At least
Yeah, nothing is wrong with that. I'm like that. My husband, we were just laughing because my daughter's best friend, we go to their house to pick her up and take them places, and her parents come to our house. And the daddy, when he met the daddy, Gabby was telling the dad, when my husband and dad met, y'all are just alike. Y'all are both bald headed and funny and had so much to say. And the daddy, when he introduced himself to my husband, he said, I mean, it's good that we meet. We pick our daughters up. You know what I'm saying? Even though my wife is with me, but my daughter's in the car with you when you're with your wife, and your daughter's in the car with me when I'm with my wife. So it's important that we meet. And that's how I am now. It doesn't matter who it is, family, nobody is exempt.
No,
if I feel ways, no ma'am,
absolutely
you're not going.
No,
you
ma'am.
have some fun in that room. I promise you got a million things to entertain yourself.
Exactly.
And that's just me. And I feel like it's necessary that we are like that nowadays because the distractions are real.
They are.
And even social media, but it's real life distractions too. You have those people that try to creep, or people that they don't even know will try to influence them or do something that they should. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on Nikki's top. Like, nah, sis, we not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So
it's good for them to have like that check in a parent.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, who's gonna
Who's
do
gonna
it?
do it?
Who's gonna do it? I remember because I go through Kyrie's text messages too,
And
I was like,
me too.
saw one of her little girlfriends was asking Kyrie to talk to a boy for the girlfriend, and I'm like, what? And so the text message thread ensued or whatever, and I said, Kyrie, don't put yourself in the middle of any of that type of stuff. If that young lady wants to date that young, she needs to have a conversation with herself, because if something goes, awry, the
It's
girl
gonna
will
be
be
your
asking you,
fault.
like, what did you tell me?
Yeah.
Stay out of it.
Yeah.
Mind your business. And I don't know if y'all saw, but I posted this thing. I posted this thing about my mom's rules that she typed up and printed for me when I was going into my the summer before my senior year, and everybody loved it. But the thing that a lot of people picked up on is it was probably 30 rules, but every fifth rule or sixth rule, it was mind your own business.
Yeah.
Mind your own business. Mind your own business.
Yes.
I mean, life is so much sweeter when you mind your
That's
own
it.
business.
That's why you don't have to worry about defending yourself. And I say that to Mackenzie all the time. Mackenzie, my baby is really an introvert. People think that she's an extrovert, but she's really not. She's an introvert. It's crazy how nerdy and how quiet she is. But baby, when it's time to dance or when it's time for the talk, she won't shut up. But other than that, she's not a people's person. You know what I'm saying? And she's had that to happen like a few times to where people have tried to put her in stuff.
Yeah.
And I've literally just had to tell her, gracefully walk away.
Right.
Like, it's
That's
okay
right.
to not respond.
That's
it's okay
right.
to move around. People, they gonna think what they want to think anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like if you say something or you go back and forth, like, they gonna have something to say. Just
Right.
learn how to pick your battles.
Yep.
And when you pick those battles, make sure it's the business that pays you.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
For
Like,
sure.
and I say that I'm real big on that because I feel like the chattiness and craziness with girls nowadays
Yeah.
is so crazy. Like, I have never, and I promise you, my baby has not even a handful of friends, just a few. A lot of associates and people that she talks to, study
Mhm.
groups, all of that. But
Right.
like friends, it's only like probably 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the stuff that goes on outside of that, like, I'm like, wow, the hell, yo, where you come from? She like, Mom, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, I just need to know, so should I go and ask or should I say? And then one text come back, Mackenzie never has anything to say when it's time to speak up and say, you know. And she's like, well, first of all, it's not my business. Like,
Right.
that's between y'all.
Right.
I can't help
Right.
it that she said this to me and she said this to me, you know, just mad because she's not, you know, and I appreciate that. But I'm like, it'd be okay with gracefully bowing out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It'd be okay with them not fooling with you or liking you anymore because of that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a part of human nature.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, since we on that, we can talk about this for like 5 seconds. When it comes to like the morals that we instill in our girls, especially when it comes to friendships and valuing in friendships and relationships and the importance of them. I'm sure they see it because they see the genuine friendships that we
Right.
have. They see the people
Right.
that we're around, that we talk to often, and they're like, okay, that's not a friend. That's, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
What are conversations that we're having with our girls and teaching them to be a good friend? Just be a good person and be a good friend. What are some of the things? And we'll start with you, Kim.
Yeah, no, I think number one, minding your own business.
Rule number 1, 5, 6, 7, 30,
right,
19.
right. But, you know, also really being the type of friend that you want to have. So, you know, you want somebody that's going to be there for you, that's going to be compassionate when you get a bad grade, somebody that's going to, you know, not judge you, somebody that's going to support you when you want to go, you know, try out for cheerleading and you've never been cheerleading in your life. I mean, you know, just
Nah,
those.
sis,
Well,
nah.
I'm just saying,
You
like,
better not tell me you trying for cheerleading. You know I can't kick a leg.
I mean, but
can't even kick my leg up.
you know,
I can't
don't
do
beat
it.
you down about it. You know, be real with you, but at least you know
Right.
if you listen,
Nah,
we
sis,
gonna do whatever we can to try to help you.
No, you just tell me, nah, sis, that is not for you. You know, do not.
Tap into the untapped in talent. You know. But really, I mean, it goes back to the golden rule. Like, you need to treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah,
And, you know, however you, if you have a quote unquote
Huh.
friend.
Miss